G'day everybody and welcome to Robbie's River Roundup for Friday the 5th of September 2014. Proudly brought to you by Adventure Camping and Fishing at 14 Rowan Street, Wangaratta, where service rhymes with nervous and bargain rhymes with Finurgan. Have a look at this. That's the Ovens River, about halfway between Brighton and Harriettville. About 3 or 4 years ago this river suffered a big loss. There was a 33, I think it was, 1,000 hectare bushfire up on the edge of Mount Feathertop and Mount Hotham sort of area. That was followed almost immediately by 300 millimetres of rain within 1 week and a whole heap of sludge, charcoal and you name it come washing down the river, causing major fish kills. Now since those big fish kills, the river hasn't been real good. Last year there were a few fish caught in patches. How it's going to fish this year is anybody's guess. There are trout in the tributaries that weren't affected by the fire. Eventually they should move back into the river and breed up. But has it happened this year, or do we have to wait a bit longer? We'll have to wait till tomorrow at least before we can have a flick in and see. This is the only river I'm going to really mention as far as fishing goes, and there's a reason for that. I've got some fantastic criticism during the week, or constructive criticism you could call it, which I don't mind, by a bloke who suggested that maybe I add a bit more fishing content into my river reports. He was quite kind about it. He says, "G'day Robbie, I like your work, but I do think it would be great if you could add some more fishing content. Tell us how the fish are biting." And I don't for a reason. I am a fishing journalist for several magazines. Those magazines buy that information off me. They pay me for my work, they pay me for my photos, and therefore if you want the more in-depth knowledge on where the fish are biting, you're better off to buy the magazine. The magazines don't cover river conditions as such. To a degree they do, but because the magazines are written sometimes 6 weeks before the report is printed, or 4 weeks before the report is printed, it's hard to judge exactly what the river conditions will be like. So as a result, I've created a river roundup so that you can go and check the river conditions. But the fishing information will remain in the magazines, because otherwise, if I give the viewers, yourselves, the information for free on the internet after the magazines have paid me for that content, I am in a sense biting the hand that feeds me. I'd love to be able to tell you all the rivers and how they're fishing, but the best thing I can suggest is to grab a copy of one of the magazines that I write for. At the moment I have an article, a feature article in Freshwater Fishing magazine. It covers all of northeast Victoria and what I predict the rivers to fish like this year, including the information I just gave you about the Ovens River, but I'll go into more detail. I've got the Kiba River in there, the Buckland, the Buffalo. I'm just forecasting how I think each river should fish, and that article is in the current edition of Freshwater Fishing. In Victorian Fishing Monthly, I have a report every single month on how the fishing has been and how the fishing should be. That also has a comprehensive report on how the trout fishing should be, but also, being the September edition, a bit more information about lowland species. Northeast anglers, the same sort of thing. As I started, those magazines pay me for that content, so I can't really give them to you for free here. But what I can do is tell you how the rivers are looking, and that's what I plan to do with my Robbie's River Roundup, and of course in a unique sort of a way. So here's the Ovens River. That's looking fantastic. How's it gonna fish? That's anybody's guess. All of the rivers and creeks are looking fantastic. I crossed a few creeks on the way up here. I've looked at a few rivers over the last week and they are looking Mickey Mouse. Despite some decent rainfall earlier this week, I think it was Monday or Monday, we had 15 millimetres in rain in Wangaratta. They had, I think, about an inch and a half up in the mountains, but it hasn't been enough to disturb the rivers. They've all got a nice flow, they're flowing quite nice, but they're not raging. I could easily walk across that river in my gumboots. I'd probably get water in my gumboots, but I could get across. So they're looking pretty good. All of the rivers are looking good. The Murray cod season is now closed. You can still fish in lowland waters, but you mustn't target Murray cod, and if you do, you risk being fined. The trout stream's open tomorrow morning and there'll be a lot of anglers around. Good luck to everybody heading out. Some of the rivers down south, closer to Melbourne, that had a lot more rain than us earlier in the week might be a little bit high and a little bit off colour. I don't know, I don't really report on those areas. But if they are, try using some worms. But up here, I just can't wait because everything is looking A1 for tomorrow morning. Something else I want to talk about. Twice this week now I've been in a shop, two different shops in Mengen. I see someone looking at a book, looking up at me. Look at me, look at the book. Look at me, look at the book. At a restaurant, I saw a guy walk past me 3 or 4 times and kept looking at me. Let me just say this. If you're out in public and you see a bloke and he looks like me and he sounds like me, then there's every chance that it's Wayne Gardner. You idiots. If it looks like me and sounds like me, then it probably is me, and I don't bite. So come and say g'day, because I'm usually on for a bit of a chat. Now, talking about chat, I'm going to chat to you about a fantastic bargain that they've got at Adventure Camping and Fishing this week. Back on my very first river roundup at the start of August, when the rivers were all still flooded and this water was probably way up where I'm standing now, I mentioned this rod and reel combination. It's an Akuma micro spin, 5 foot tall. At 5 foot tall, that's probably about a foot taller than Drew behind the counter at Adventure Camping and Fishing. Drew's going to kill me for that. No, at 5 foot tall, that is ideal for smaller streams and waterways. Still work fantastic in rivers the size of the ovens. It'll work great in any river really. That is an ideal rod and reel combo. The rod is normally $149.95, if you can see that. The reel, I'm not sure what the reel's worth. I know it's not a top end reel, but it is also an Akuma reel. It's a 5-to-1 gear ratio, which is well and truly high enough for these streams. It's a nice smooth little reel. Now the reel, remembering the rod is 150 bucks, Drew at Adventure Camping and Fishing is doing them as a combination at the moment for 130 bucks. Now, why do I have to tell you this again when I told you 5 weeks ago? Because the trout season opens tomorrow, and I just think that this is an absolute ideal combination. It's almost like a top quality combo at rock bottom price. $130 for a fantastic combo that will last for quite a long time. 1 to 3 kilo line class. It's got all the bells and whistles. I don't even look at that. I don't look at all this high modulus graphite. I don't know what that means. What do they get that from, Mars or something? High quality fittings. It's got light fittings on it or something. 1 to 3 kilogram line class. Who talks in kilograms? We're talking pound. I do anyway. All I know is I pick up a rod and I like it. And this is advice for a lot of people that contact me and say, Robbie, what's a good rod and reel for 100 bucks? Or what's this rod like? Or what's that rod like? I don't know, because I don't go and hold them all. I pick up something like that and I think, yep, that's a bloody ripper. And I reckon I could just walk through and flick a salter or a rooster tail with this little combo all day. Alright folks, that's it for me this week. The rivers are looking fantastic. Good luck tomorrow morning, and I'll see you next week.